Okay, so it's recording. So I'm just gonna mute everybody. Okay, and share my screen. Well, before I share my screen, thank you for being on this call. I can't believe Summit is 36 days away, which is completely crazy. And we're already into July. I think we have some good numbers. I see people who are on the board. A lot of people hit Success Club early, I noticed this June. And so some people are still pulling it out. There's still time. I think today's the 21st. I lose track of time down here. But still definitely a lot of time. Which is good. And so I wanted to talk about this idea of tracking results, of finding excitement, because when the months that we've just been through go through, it can kind of lose a little luster in the business, because you especially those of us who are doing everything we need to do for our business, we're not seeing tons and tons of people, and so it can kind of be a bummer. And so one of the things that I know I personally forget about is the fact that this business should be fun, and that sometimes we forget that. And so I wanted to talk about 5 different things that I've done excuse me, in my business lately, that have kind of ignited a little fun, have ignited some ways of looking at the business rather than just being Success Club driven. Because I think sometimes when we're Success Club driven, even though we all should be, if that's the only thing that we're looking at, it can kind of be demoralizing a little, especially in a month that's really difficult. And so I wanted to make sure that there was different ways that we could find success. And so this is called How to Find Excitement and Results in Your Business and in Your Life. Because to me, I've never really known anybody who has been wildly successful in their life or wildly happy and not be successful in their business. And I've known people who have had the opposite happen, maybe things aren't going well. Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they're, health problems, whatever, and they've still been able to be successful in their business. And so this is kind of going to talk about all of that. So there's many reasons why people walk away from the business. I'm sure you've seen a lot of coach cancellations that come through. So as the head upline sponsor, I get everybody's coach cancellations. So your coaches, I get that cancellation. And so there are some mornings I wake up and there's 5 emails, coach cancellations. And it's very easy to be to go into, to go into shock. But I look at the whole number, and we are literally, I think, 91 coaches away from 2,000 Fitspire Empire coaches. And what's really cool about that is, at least for my business, most of that is our team. It's not Danielle's team, really. It's and so that's really cool growth. And I'm actually going to kind of write something tomorrow to see if we can get to 2,000 by the time Summit rolls around. So that's about 36 days, 90 coaches. I think we can do it, especially if we push. And so there's reasons why people walk away from their business, why they take time off, why they quit, because they're frustrated. Because right now, you're probably working really hard and not seeing the return on your business the way you used to be, at least. Or maybe if you're a new coach and you've started during this period of slow time, it's kind of like, hey, what's going on? My coach told me that this would be a great idea. Sometimes boredom sets in, especially for those of us who have been doing this a long time. Boredom is a big thing. Comparison is always a huge thing. People see new coaches come in, they see them hit diamonds. diamond and they still haven't hit diamond, or they see somebody else hit a new rank or whatever, and they just start playing the comparison game. And so what I have noticed, and I know, I'm a big believer of Tony Robbins, is most people are happiest when they feel like they're making progress. And so whether it be your weight loss, whether it be your business, whether it be whatever it is you want to do, when you feel like you're making progress, it makes you happy. It makes you more able to do things. It makes you less likely to get stuck. And so what I wanted to do tonight is to snap a dry spell if you had it, liven up what you're currently doing, your everyday duties, and start focusing on some stuff that you can actually track and actually do to make your business a little more exciting. I actually didn't prepare this. My assistant did. So I'm like laughing at the picture she picks. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is really, I have to say that I have found from my own success that being committed to a program has always been like the way to Success Club and the way to building my business if I have taken some time off, or perhaps it's been a little dry. And so you should get excited about a program. Like I have some coaches that the only program they've done is the 21-day fix. And I'm like, holy cow, like no wonder you're bored, right? Because the 21-day fix is awesome and it's 30 minutes, but it's really hard to get excited about the 21-day fix when you've been doing it for 6 months. And so, get excited about a program. Find excitement about when you first started. Oftentimes, coaches will tell me that, the first time they've done a program, they got amazing results. And, they can't believe it. And that's where their before and after pictures come in. And then subsequently, they don't get as great results. And it's all of that like excitement, and it's the newness of it, and it's the being really committed and saying no to the cookie and saying no to all the little things that you do in that first round. And so, find that excitement. I think it's really great that Carl Deichler did that 21-day fix extreme test group thing, because it's gotten a lot of coaches, back into being really committed and being, results only kind of people. And, if you have been like lackluster with your results and whatever, go back like it's the first day of your journey. Pick a program that you can get excited to. I got to tell you, for me, I wanted to choose programs that were 21 days in length because, again, people are happiest when they see progress. And so I knew that I could be really good for 21 days. And I knew that I could take on another 21 days because I had 21 days of success. And then now, and I didn't want to go into like a crazy hard program after the ultimate reset because I hadn't worked out in 21 days. And that was the last thing I was going to do, was beat my body to crap after not working out for 21 days. And so I eased into the 21-day fix. And it just so happens that the 21-day fix extreme was the next program I was going to do. And now there's like this test group kind of thing. So it's really cool. Take your measurements, meal plan. Meal planning is something that I stopped doing. And it was actually a thing that people used to come to my page for, is to check out my meal plans. And so I went back to that. Pick a weigh-in day. Pick a day that you are going to weigh in and do your measurements. Post it on social media, like call yourself out. Be like, hey guys, I've let things go through. I'm committing. This is my program. And then do your journey. There's so many parts of that journey that you can share on social media. And if you're somebody who has trouble posting, like doing a journey is like the most awesome thing in the world, because it's the easiest, because you can talk about your emotions, you can talk about your food, you can talk about your weight, you can talk about how you feel, you can talk about the support. Really, it's just the sky is the limit. And so if you are a coach being a product of the product and really committing to a program is awesome. It's why when coaches get picked for test groups, they have awesome results, because all of a sudden they're dialed in. They're dialed in with their nutrition. They're dialed in with their program, and they're dialed into sharing it. The next thing is pick a personal development goal that you can do, because I am not going to do another another team call about personal development, because if you don't realize that that's the key to things, then I really don't think I can say it much more. But get excited about something. Like for me, being turned on to meditation was amazing. It really was. I am so freaking excited that tomorrow I will have officially graduated being like meditating, doing like the basic meditation, because they make you do 30 lessons before you can actually start to pick specific things. And so I'm so excited that I already picked my next pack. And my next pack is all about acceptance, accepting yourself and accepting other people. And situations and things like that. And so I'm like freaking excited about it, because I really think for me, and I think Tina and I talked about this, or she posted this. I really think meditation allows you to change your brain in a subconscious way that you don't know about. And for me, I didn't do it all last week. And I got to tell you, I was more anxious. I was more testy. I really felt like I was very reactive. And so I actually enjoy getting up in the morning and doing personal development. I sit outside now on my balcony and I watch the sunrise. When I was in my house in New Jersey, I had a really comfy couch. And so I would go downstairs and I would get like a nice comfy blanket and I would get comfortable. Like, make personal development something you can get excited about, and make it like something that you can track. Like for meditation, it's the lessons that I track. Maybe it's that you're going to listen to five podcasts in a week. Maybe it's that, I know some of us sign up for these training programs and like we just never do it because I think we overchunk it, Figure out, maybe it's a half hour a day that you are going to do a lesson. Maybe it's a half hour a day you're going to go on YouTube and look up stuff for inviting. Whatever it is, make sure that it's something that you can track, and make sure it's something like that's enjoyable to you. It should be something that, you look forward to, because if it's something that you dread, chances are that's the first thing that's going to go in that. Number 3, pick a new social media. Now, obviously, if you're having problems doing one social media, this is not for you. But, if you're somebody who doesn't know too much about other social media, pick one. Like for me, I've been working on Snapchat, and I don't look at Snapchat as a way to build my business right now. I look at it as a way to just like kind of connect with people and stuff like that. And so, like I check it every night, and I'm like, every night I hope that I have more people looking at my snaps than the day before. And so far that's been growing. Like, my first goal was like, all right, I want 100 people to see my snaps. All right. Then it grew to 130. Then it, right now it's at 160, around there. And so that kind of like stuff excites me, and stuff like that. Maybe it's like you wanted to get 20 likes on a pic. Maybe it's that, on IG, you're building your IG followers or whatever. But just definitely make it like a fun kind of thing. I got to tell you, whenever I have like specifically gone out and been like, okay, I want to grow my IG by 100 people, I do. I think it's just from calling it out and just being like, hey, this is what I want to do. And it just, it's kind of like you manifest it yourself. If those of you who are having trouble with regularity, not that kind, but, posting on Facebook, write down what you're going to post, like have some ideas down. That was a whole thing about that group we did, is help, I don't know what to post. You have so many ideas there. There's like 13 days of ideas. Write it down. Like obviously on Tuesdays are great days for transformations. Thursdays are great days to look at where you've been in your past. Mondays are always good for inspiration. I got to tell you, I spend time on Instagram going to things that I like, like Boss Babe and things like that. And I just look at the quotes, and I will like screenshot the quotes, and I will start thinking like, oh, I bet you, like if I was reading Oprah Winfrey magazine today at the pool, and there was like this awesome article by Ela Van Sant. I know I'm going to say her name wrong, but she was talking to this mother who was the mother of boys, and she was somebody who had a lot of guilt, and she had like this awesome quote, and the quote was that how a mother shows her heart to her boys is how they become a man and how they love. And I was like, wow, that was like so profound. And I was like, and all I could think about was taking a picture of my boys and like writing that quote on there and then explaining it. And so that's kind of how my mind works. I do believe I am a naturally creative person, but I'm trying to bring you into my creative process as to how I don't get bored with things and stuff like that. So, make those goals. Number 4, get like new notebooks. I'm like an office supply nerd. And so, obviously I have a problem with tracking customers and things like that. And so I went out and I bought some, like, I'm a paper and pencil girl. And so I went to Kmart and just got some fun stuff. Some new pens always excite me. And then use it to write down stuff, use it to track stuff. And I find that if you have something to track something in, you do. It's kind of like when you went to school, right? You go to school with like new notebooks and things like that. This is nothing different. So if you're somebody who's like kind of lost and you don't know where to start, start with some nice stationery and start, writing down contacts and things like that, or writing down possibly your posts and things. And then last but not least, this is really important because I think this business is all about risk taking, and it's about really putting yourself out there. And so commit to like one new thing in your business and being okay that like it might tank. Like making an event and like nobody's coming to your event. Like be okay with that, because it is more important that you actually went out and tried to figure out how to set up an event. It's okay if you've actually gone out and like done a live video and nobody got on, because let me tell you something. I've been doing live videos now and people see them in the thousands. When I first started, like there'd be like nobody that would get on or whatever. And so, be completely okay with the fact that it might be a complete failure, because that is the only way you're going to grow. It's going to be the only way you get unstuck. Like people tell me all the time that they're stuck, and most of the times they're stuck because they're so afraid to do something, because they feel like when they do something, it needs to be attached to success. When in reality, you just need to do something. Maybe it's an event. Maybe like you're actually going to go out and you're going to like friggin' like really invite people. Like maybe you're just going to be like, hey, I'm just going to send these things out. Like, in my upline, in her coaches group, one of the coaches shared that like, hey, the month was half over. I was at 0 and truth be told, I wasn't inviting, I wasn't talking to anybody, I wasn't even posting 3 to 5 times a day. And she just decided that, you know, she was going to send, and she started sending out like 20 messages. And, you know, she's already at like Success Club 8 because she just decided to just totally go for it. She had nothing to lose. I mean, she's already at Success Club 0. So what could be worse? You know, I mean, you can't make it any worse. So taking action is awesome. You know, maybe it's something small. Maybe you're going to a social event. Talk to 3 people that you don't know. I know for me, that scares the bejesus out of me. I don't like to go to parties. Actually, we were at our at my son's godparents' house, and they always are notorious for having a lot of people over. And I just wind up going to bed early. And I don't care. My husband knows I'm antisocial sometimes, but I made it a point to at least talk to a few people that I did not know. And then that was enough. And then I went to bed. But, you know, do something, because I can guarantee you that when you do something that's a little scary, even if it's successful or not successful, the feeling of just doing something actually gets you kind of excited. It gets you kind of like, oh, well, like it wasn't too torturous, so maybe I can do that again. So that is my my 5 ways to kind of bringing some excitement, bringing some fun back to your business. And it gives you some forward motion, because this business is all about going forward. You know, I often say that some days you have to crawl, but at least you're going forward. And so that's kind of what I have figured out in my own business. I know a lot of you have done the ultimate reset, which is awesome. I think that's really amazing. And I think just the newness of that kind of stuff is probably bringing a different perspective to your business. I know for me, every time I've done the ultimate reset, it's always helped my business in terms of just kind of making things like more interesting and things like that. I know some of you joined the 21-Day Fix Extreme Test Group, which is awesome. You're taking that seriously. You're kind of like 21 days, I'm not screwing around. And then I think Carl Deichler is pretty much a genius, because what he just did is he got all those coaches to get into a test group, and he told them to share their journey. Duh, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But when, you know, the CEO tells you to do it and tells you to hashtag it and things like that, people do it. And so I thought it was really amazing job to do that. I just had an exciting idea today. I got 4 messages today from people asking me about meditating, that they feel like they've seen a change in me and they want to know what they can do about it. And so I was like, duh, like I'm such a ding dong. Like, why wouldn't I have made it a free 10-day group on meditation? Because talk about like being able to make people who could possibly be good coaches through meditation, through, you know, manifesting things and stuff like that, and building relationships. And so I'm actually going to work on that tomorrow, and setting up an event for that. And you're absolutely allowed to be in it if you want to invite people to it yourself. If you want to make your own group, that's pretty cool. But I'm sure that there are things that you are finding exciting in your life that you might do. I know a lot of you do the free eating groups. I think Nicole has like a butts and guts kind of free group that she's going on and doing and things like that. And so use kind of what you know and what's exciting about, because this business has always been about energy. And if you're not excited about things, if you're not happy, that's going to kind of come through somehow, even if you try to hide it your best way and stuff. So that's kind of all I have for you guys tonight. But thank you for being on the call. I have another calendar that I'm setting up for July, and I actually had my assistant make a calendar for you guys for July, and it has like a little check off, and it has like, I did my workout, I did my shake, I posted 3 to 5 times a day. And I think it would be interesting to see just like you get one of those workout calendars and you check them off, like what your business looks like, as opposed to that for a full month. Because I would bet you that if you check that stuff off every day right before summit, you're going to see amazing growth in your business because you are going to be consistent. People are going to see that. Sometimes consistency is when you continue doing it even when you're not getting the response you want. I know for me in my body, the nights that I want to eat everything in my cupboards and I decide like, no man, like I'm going to bed, I'm not doing this, I'm going to continue with it. Always the next day and the next couple of days after that, I see like, oh, wow, like that really did pay off. And the same thing is true for your business. When you're really consistent, when you're really excited, when you're really getting great results with your programs, people are attracted to that and stuff. So thanks, guys, for being on. I appreciate it. I'm working on some guest speakers. So they will be both in-house people, so people people who are part of our organization. And I actually want some out-of-house people who actually are not involved with Beachbody to come in and talk to you guys. And if you guys have any ideas for a good team call, just let me know. And I hope you got some takeaways from this call. Good night.